full force.
It seemed to me like there was a miscommunication on the snap count. So now it's going to be 3rd and 12, 3rd and 13 correction. And Morrison going to have to figure something out, waiting for the call from Don Clayton. He's got it. Morrison drops back to pass. He's got under pressure almost immediately again, and that ball sails over the middle and off the back of one of his offensive linemen. That was Blake Brostein, who was out there trying to block and took a ball in the back. So Cinco Ranch will punt it away.
Well, Grayson Newton was able to break through that line and put a lot of pressure on him, and I think he forced him to throw a little bit early rather than take a loss on that play.
So it's going to be Davis Hastings kicking the ball, and that's going to be Joshua Bland back there to receive it. He's standing over on the 10-yard line. Low snap, but he's going to get it away. It's a low punt, and it's going to bounce on the 20-yard line. No fair catch. He's going to take the ball on the 13 and get brought and corralled back on the 10. Forward progression will put him at the 13-yard line. It's going to be 1st and 10 here for the Jersey Village Falcons.
That was a gutsy call because he had nothing but Cinco Ranch defenders right there. And one bad hit, he could have dropped that ball, and Jersey Village could be looking at themselves down 6.
Yeah, Brent, I was actually very surprised he didn't take the fair catch there, but we're trying to make something happen here early in the game. You can't fault him for that, so Qualls will stand in the gun. Walks up, makes a call to the line of scrimmage. And now he will fake the give, and he'll take the ball himself around the left side. He's got a little bit of room to run, gets a great block. He's got the first down to the 30, up to the 34-yard line before he's brought down. And that's a significant gain on the first play. That is night and day from their last drive.
That was very impressive. He just took off running down that side. He saw that he had the opening and even grinded more right before he was brought down.
So Qualls going to take the ball again. He's going to toss it over to Paul. Paul's going to catch the ball near the 40 and grind his way down to the 44-yard line before he's brought down by.
With the spot of the ball, it looks like it's another first down for the Falcons.
Jacob Smith on the tackle there for Cinco Ranch. So first down for the Falcons. Qualls from the gun. He will hand the ball to Ajeho, and he'll take it up the middle and get brought down right around the line of scrimmage. Gain of 1 there. As that defensive line for Cinco Ranch continuing to stuff the middle. Not much doing for the Falcons going that direction. $80 degrees here around kickoff with a heat index of 93. The humidity is insane this point in September in southeast Texas, and he'll take the snap looking left. He's got a man, and that's almost a terrible decision, but makes a great catch. It looked like there was a beeline for an interception, and that was Austin Lynch who jumped up there and snagged it out of the air. I don't think he was the intended receiver.
I don't either, but I'll tell you right now, it looked like he almost saved an interception for the Falcons by getting that ball.
Looked to me like the defensive back's eyes would have lit up on that one because he was coming right back towards him. So they'll go from the pistol this time. Pauls looks to the sidelines, getting the calls from the coaching staff. And he'll take the snap, and it's going to be a quick bubble screen over to the right side to Bland. Bland's going to take it down to the 36-yard line before he's brought down.
Before he was brought down, he was dragging a couple of Cougars with him. That was a really, really good run on the Falcons' part.
Qualls has also almost led the team in rushing last season. He makes a pass, and it's going to be caught over there. It looks like Austin Lynch again making a catch. Didn't even see the ball coming to the last second, and they are calling that a catch. That looked like it was very close, but got his arms underneath the ball.
And again, Lynch had to reach from behind him and grab that ball and did a great job of bringing it in.
Qualls in the gun, going to look to the sidelines for the call. From the pistol. And he will hand off to Ajeho, and he'll get wrapped up at the line of scrimmage and brought down, trying to go around the right side, but nothing doing.
Cole Rice just grabbed him and would not let him go any further. That was an excellent job on Cole, stopping him before other defenders could get up and assist him in the tackle.
So Qualls awaits the snap from his center. And he looks to his right. Now he's going to pump fake, and he's going to get sacked, and that's going to be number 91, Jesse Imare.
And he read that play just right, was able to break through the line, and
that's his first sack of the season.
And he had no chance to going down.
So it's going to be 3rd and about 15 yards. And he's going to take the snap, and he's going to toss it over to Bland, but Bland gets tripped up by the turf monster. No catch as it sails over his head as he falls down. And now it's going to be 4th down. You're outside of field goal range for most high school kickers, but this is that no man's land where you kind of just have to go for it.
And I think with being this early in the season, why not? Because if anything, it teaches them, it gives them the experience of going for it.
So Pauls takes the snap. He pump fakes, and he gets hit as he throws, and he was going towards Brandon Major, who was covered over there near the 10-yard line, but the ball never got to him. Pauls gets hit on the play, and that one just sails into the secondary, nobody around it.
That was a really good stop by the Cinco Ranch defense.
That's going to be a turnover on downs. Ball on the 30-yard line inside Cinco Ranch territory. They're going to take over. 5:47 to go. Still no score here. Morrison awaits the snap, and he will hand the ball off to his running back, who goes up the middle. That's going to be Devin Johnson. No gain on the play. Maybe a couple of inches.
Jersey Village captain Alex Turner on the tackle there for virtually no gain.
Clock continues to run, 5:20 to go. Morrison breaks the huddle. Now comes to the line. He's got 2 on the far side. He drops back to pass, looking left. Now he's under some pressure. Now he rolls around. Good pocket presence as he tosses the ball over to Corey Rao, and he will take the ball down to the 40-yard line along the sidelines to the, looks like they said he stepped out of bounds at the 37-yard line. But had he had a couple more inches on the sidelines, he could have been off to the races. He was outrunning some of those guys.
Well, he was out right there on that sideline. He had nobody covering him, and just a nice pass, and just took it as far as he could go.
Well, Morrison had the pocket breakdown around him, and he was able to slip out and catch Rao over there. And he, last week, had 1 reception. That's his second one tonight. And you should expect him to be one of their go-to receivers this year. He is, let's take the snap, and it's going to go up the middle. Once
Devin
again, Johnson.
Whoa. He just powered his way through that line.
Yes, he did. So, as I was saying, Rao is going to be one of their guys to go to through the air this year. He's their leading receiver from the year before. That is left over from the year before. There are 2 leading receivers graduated. And that's going back to that young receiving core I was mentioning earlier. So, gain of 10, 1st down, 27-yard line inside of the Falcons territory. Neither team has reached the red zone yet. Morrison awaiting the call from the coaching staff on the sidelines. Don Clayton calling in the plays.
You can see him sending it in right now, and they've broken huddle.
So Morrison stands in the gun. Takes snap, dropping back under some pressure. He's going to roll out to his right, being chased. Now he's going to take the ball himself, and he's going to pick up, looks like 6 yards before he's brought down. I thought he might have been able to get the first, but that defense closed around him pretty fast.
They really did. He's had nobody that he could toss that to. So he went ahead and took it himself, and he also took a hit going down. He was wanting that first down, but he ended up with a good, respectable run anyway.
I got to respect a quarterback that's willing to take a hit and not take a slide, but this early in the season, you're going to want your starting quarterback to slide. This game is not a district game.
No, and that's one thing that'll always bring a heart failure to coaches when they see that.
Going to be a flag on the play, going to be a false start on Cinco Ranch, so they're going to back up. I'll wait for the call here.
There was a coach last year that said when he saw his receiver do a flip into the backfield, he said in an interview, I told him that would be his one and only flip that I
never
want to
again.
see.
Well, you see a lot of guys, like a lot of that happen. You'll see somebody make a celebration or do something you don't need to do, and then they'll tear an ACL or something, be done for the year. You're just thinking, well, that was unnecessary. So 2nd down and 8 for the Cougars. Morrison awaits snap. He drops back to pass. He's got time. Now he's under some pressure, and he will get sacked by a host of Falcons, but leading that was Jacob Clarkson, the defensive end for
And where the sack occurred, there is a flag on the play. We might be looking at a face mask.
So Keith Kimmel, the referee tonight, going to talk to the coaching staff over there on the Falcons sideline. So you're going to expect maybe a hold?
It's one of those that can go either way. It's either holding on Cinco Ranch or it's going to be maybe a face mask.
And there's the hold. So the penalties decline. It's going to be 3rd down and 12. That's going to back them up to the 30-yard line.
So with this 3rd down conversion, we're probably going to see something of a pass play.
So Morrison will stand in the gun. Johnson to his left. Takes the snap. He's going to roll out to his left side. He's under immediate pressure, tosses the ball, and there's nowhere for him to throw it as he was getting hit as he threw. He was targeting Colby Bradshaw, number 2 over there, but he just didn't have the strength of his arm being hit.
No, not at
the ball
all.
To him. He was open, though. It was a good decision with the ball.
He was open, and it keeps the ball on the 30-yard line. But now they're in that no man's land that you were discussing earlier. It's too far away to punt, too close to punt, too far away to kick for the field goal. So going for it will probably be the best option.
So Morrison awaits the snap. From center, Connor Walsh, he will drop back to pass, and under pressure again, he'll toss it over the middle, and that's going to be to Johnson, but Johnson will make the catch at the line of scrimmage, and he's brought down. It's going to be a turnover on downs. Now we got a defensive battle. This is a little bit different from what you guys experienced last night out here for the Maid Creek game.
Oh, absolutely. It was more of an offensive battle between Maid Creek and Cypress Lakes, especially during the second quarter when Cy Lakes just ran with it. It seemed like everything in that second quarter was going Cy Lakes' way. You just had to feel for the men that were making up the players at Maid Creek because it just wasn't happening for them. But in the second half, they came back.
So Qualls will take the snap, toss over the middle, gets his man open and caught. That's going to be Joshua Bland making the catch. And that's going to take it down to the 45-yard line, 1st down for the Falcons.
Yeah, Maid Creek tried to make it a game in that second half, but they had like a 30-point deficit and just could not overcome that.
At 30-point deficit, no matter what team you're playing as or who you are, is going to be a problem. And that's going to be taken up the middle as that broke down. Qualls decided to run with it. Looked to his right, nothing doing, then took off up the middle for a 1st down. And that's going to take it down to the 46-yard line inside of Cougar territory. So,
and you can see a lot of the good call instincts that Qualls has on this. He knew exactly where to run to maximize it and get that first down.
So Qualls will go from the gun. He's got 3 wide receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. He will roll out to his right, and he's got a man open, but it's not going to be caught. It was Austin Lynch trying to make the catch, but it was a little bit behind him. He was wide open. Still shaking off a little of that rust, I can see, because normally mid-season form, that's going to be a catch.
Yes, and again, they had their bye week last week, so this is their first game of the 2015 season. So we're going to expect, and the coaches know that too, but that's also something that they can go back, look at the game film in actual practice, work on, and come back in week 3 even stronger.
Calls from the pistol. He'll roll out. Looks like an option, but he'll take it himself up the middle, and there's going to be a flag on the play before he's brought down for a gain of 4 yards. And this is in the area of holding. 2:33 to go here in the first quarter. Still no score. Weather seems to be clearing out a little bit. We were concerned about some rain.
The preliminary indication is it's holding on Jersey Village.
There it is. That's going to be a hold on Chris Paul, the right tackle. And that's going to back him up. That's going to back him up outside of Cougar territory. So penalties have been a problem so far tonight for both teams. I think it's hurt Jersey Village a little bit more.
And again, it's that adrenaline and that first game jitters that you want to succeed, you want to make the play, but you've got to keep the focus.
So Qualls alone in the backfield, takes the snap, pump fakes, looks around. Now he's going to take the ball on the left side and be brought down to the line of scrimmage. And that was the senior, Dami Ilasame, the senior linebacker. So it's going to be 3rd and 20, or 3rd and 19.
And he did a great job coming up and grabbing Qualls right at the line of scrimmage so that he wouldn't gain anything.
Well, that's going to be a big thing for Cinco Ranch tonight. You cannot let Qualls get loose. He's one of their leading rushers. As Qualls takes the snap, he's rolling around to his right. Now he's got a man chasing him. He's got the left side of the field. He's still got time. Now he's going to toss it over the middle. It's going to be caught by Bland. Bland's going to take it down to the 32-yard line before he's brought down. Great pass there by Deshaun Qualls to Joshua Bland.
That was really impressive because Qualls, his poise and his focus were right on target. He knew what he had around him and he knew he had to get it off, but he also was able to see downfield and caught that open receiver for not only the first down but a large gain as well.
So that's going to be fielded by Alec Wexler, who took the snap there. Qualls off the field. He tossed it over to the right, and that was an incomplete pass targeting Rakeem Paul. So Wexler now in the game. Anthony Ajeho to his right. Wexler stands in the gun. Backup quarterback in the game here for Jersey Village. And he will take the snap, toss into his left side. That's going to be thrown behind his receiver. That was going to be targeting number 23, Brandon Major.
I think Qualls went over to the sideline right after that big completion that he had.
Ball is at the Cinco Ranch, 33-yard line.
So Alec Wexler. 3rd and 10 from the 33 inside of Cougars territory. He will roll out, tossing over the middle to Bland. Bland will make the catch and pick up the first down. And now they're in the red zone. This is the first team in the red zone this evening. Clock continues to run. 1 minute and 9 seconds left. Still no indications from the sidelines on the status of Qualls. But Wexler going to take the snap. He's going to toss the fade route over towards the end zone, and it's going to be out of bounds. Targeting Major over there. Major had 23 receptions, 251 yards last season with 2 touchdowns. Second and 10 from the 29-yard line. Falcons starting to threaten here. Wexler stands in the gun. He will take the snap. He's looking right. Now he's under some pressure. He tosses it to his running back, Ajeho. Ajeho will take it to the right side and be brought down for a gain of 6 yards. And now that's going to be on the 18-yard line.
Now this is where Jersey Village needs to keep their focus. The last time they were in the red zone, penalties took them out of it.
So Wexler calls his play. Got to have that next man up mentality, be ready to play at any time. And he takes the snap. He's going to take it himself up the middle. He's got some room, but he was brought down. And it looks like they gained almost the first down. It's going to be very close. 4th down, and it looks like they're going to bring in the jumbo package. So they're going to be going for it most likely. And it's going to be, looks like they're going to measure it. Oh no, it's going to.
Well, it's the end of the quarter.
That's
right
what it
now.
is. We're like trying to figure out what's going on. That is the end of the first quarter. And with that, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back with more of the second quarter. This is one of the fastest first quarters I've ever experienced.
It really is, and so right now, the score of the game, 0-0, and we'll be right back, everybody.
Come enjoy the heart of Katy, Texas, one of the most delightful cities in the Lone Star State. The best part? It's a short drive from Houston and minutes from the Energy Corridor. With places to stay and places to play, anything you'd like to eat, and an old town charm that can't be beat. Activities and fun for the entire family. Enjoy the best of both worlds in the City of Champions, Katy, Texas. For more information, go to cityofkaty.com.
Back here live from Rhodes Stadium in Katy, Texas, J.W. Smith and Brent Hallmark on the call tonight. 0-0 the score between the Cinco Ranch Cougars and the Jersey Village Falcons. Jersey Village threatening 4th down and 1 on the 10-yard line. Not going to kick the field goal here, but I would probably take the points with the way that first quarter went, honestly.
I would too, and I think you're right. They're going to power this for that first down.
Will take the snap, and it's going to be a first down. It's going to be handed off to Ajeho. Ajeho will take it up the middle, and he'll get down to the 4-yard line. Well, that's why I'm not a coach.
Well, now you've got it on the 4-yard line, and you've got a whole new series of downs. This is going to be a big challenge for the Cinco Ranch defense to see if they can handle, because they left those big guys in there, so they're going to pound that ball.
So Qualls back in the game. He will hand the ball off to Ajeho. Ajeho will almost get down to into the end zone, but he'll be brought down at the 1, so it's going to be 2nd down and goal from the 1-yard line. The Falcons starting to threaten. Last season, these two teams went down to the wire with a field goal to win it. It was Jersey Village winning by a score of 15-14. 3 field goals in the 4th quarter for those guys. Snap, and he'll take it up the middle, and that's going to be touchdown, Jersey Village.
Qualls decided to take it in himself. He is back in the game.
So maybe just a little shaken up before, but Qualls will run it up the middle, get the touchdown. 6-0 pending the extra point, 7-0. So let me ask your opinion on something, Brent. Do you think that the high school ranks will ever adopt the NFL rule for extra points?
I honestly think at some point in time they will. And that's to make the 2-point conversion even more desirable. And it also brings out the best of the players.
Jordan Henderson in to kick the extra point. That one is up and through the uprights. It's good. Score here 7-0. And that touchdown is brought to you by Cane Island. We're going to take a quick break and be right back. Once again, that score is 7-0 Jersey Village over Cinco Ranch. You're listening to Texas Live, TexanLive.com. We'll be right back.
Hey, it's Bert.
And Jamie. During our summer clearance event, we need to move our 2015s.
And you can count on a big selection.
A team dedicated to treating you better and low prices.
You can get a new Jeep Grand Cherokee for just $389 a month. Or a new Jeep Wrangler discounted $5,000.
Think Thanks for making us one of the fastest growing dealerships in the nation.
Texan Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram located at 59 in Will Clayton or shop 24/7. TexanDrive.com.
Back here live from Rhodes Stadium, Katy, Texas. Jersey Village has taken a 7-0 lead early in the second quarter. Cinco Ranch is going to want to come out here now and get something on the board.
Absolutely, but JW, what you were saying earlier about adapting the NFL extra point, all the new stuff that's being brought on that, is I honestly think we're seeing that trend going on where the two-point conversion is becoming more and more popular. We saw that last night for Maid Creek in two of their touchdowns. They did run it in for 8 points. So the trend is actually to utilize the two-point conversion when you feel that you can.
Well, these offenses these days are so explosive, it makes sense. As that kick goes away and it's going to be fielded in the end zone, and he's going to take it out. He's going to take it. He's got a seam, and he's going to be brought down at the 25. He had some room to run, and that was number 18, Greg Williams Jr. But it closed up a little bit on him. But there was a very large hole for him to run through. I thought he was a little crazy taking it out of the end zone, but he could see straight towards the other end of the field, so
and
I
it
can't
looked
blame
like
him.
Clayton Holmes, number 25 for the Jersey Village, as one of the defenders on there. It looked like he had to come back over across field and get him. Otherwise, this could have been a totally different play.
So Russell Morrison will stand in the pistol. 2 to the far side, 1 near. And the snap, he will hand the ball off to his running back. It's going to be Johnson. Johnson takes it up the right side for a gain of 2. It's going to be second down and 8 from the 27-yard line. Cinco Ranch still having some trouble getting their offense going tonight. They did win last week against Cypress Ranch 27-24. Morrison takes a snap, drops back looking right, and it's going to be caught by his receiver, Williams Jr., but he's immediately wrapped up.
Pass is complete to number 18, Greg Williams from Russell Morrison.
And that's going to be Juwan Morgan making the tackle. Tell you one thing, the secondary for Jersey Village has not, or they have been all over the wide receivers for Cinco Ranch thus far tonight. So Morrison stands in the gun. And it's going to be a busted play as he went to the right to try to hand the ball off, but his running back, Devon Johnson, went left.
It looked like, though, it paid off for him because I think they've got the first down, or by the spot of the ball, they're going to be about a yard short.
So that's been the story tonight so far for Cinco Ranch, struggling to get that first down on the short yardage plays. 9:38 to go in the half. Ball's on the 34-yard line. And the Cougars will punt it away. Davis Hastings back in the game. He had 3 punts last week. His longest one was 38 yards. He'll take the snap and get it away as Bland awaits it. It's going to be a short punt. And that's going to take a bounce towards the 30-yard line. And that's a good bounce for Cinco Ranch. As if that had bounced any other direction, you might have been in some trouble.
Absolutely. It took a nice, about a 15-yard bounce for Cinco Ranch. JW, we do have some scores in the other games going on for the District 19 6A teams. Cinco Ranch's opponents. When district play starts off right now at the beginning of the second quarter, Seven Lakes is on top of the Stephen F. Austin Bulldogs 14-0.
Qualls will go from the gun. He'll hand the ball off. It's going to be a reverse. Now it's a reverse pass as Lynch tosses it deep down the field, and it's almost caught by Brandon Major on the left side of the field, just overthrown. And it didn't look like that fooled Cinco Ranch too much, as he was covered by the defensive back.
Yeah, it looked like that Reggie Totti was all over him and was able to keep the completion from happening, but it was a little overthrown.
So Qualls will go from the gun again, and he'll pitch the option over to Ajeho, who will take it left, and there will be a flag on the play before he's brought down for a gain of 6, so it's going to be 3rd and 4.
And Ajeho really put that hit on that one Cinco defender before being brought down. That was a good running play and a strong effort on his part.
So this flag also in the area of holding. Will wait for the call from referee Keith Kimmel, and it is a hold. So it seems like that's been another story also for the Falcons tonight so far, is just shaking off the rust and the penalties. You can't be doing that to yourself. You're up 7 points.
No, you cannot be. And this is, again, you've got to keep that focus. You cannot let these penalties kill you, because that can determine the outcome of your whole season. And that's one of the things that all coaches stress to their players.
So 2nd and 20 on the 20 inside their own territory. The Falcons struggling to get something going on this drive. Ball stands alone in the gun. He will drop back to pass, looking right. Now he's going to scramble around a little bit, waiting for a man to get open. He's got one open deep in the field. It's going to be Paul, who makes the catch at the 40-yard line, and he is gone.
He's downtown.
That's going to be a touchdown for the Jersey Village Falcons, and that is going to take the score to 13-0 with 8:45 to go. And Paul was wide open. He had his man beat. Qualls saw it as he scrambled out to the right. And there was nothing they could do about that one. That was precision, drop ball right into his hands.
Both guys showed extreme focus on that. Qualls knew exactly where to throw it. Paul, it was seamless in the catch.
So Rakeem Paul with the touchdown. And now Henderson will kick the extra point, and it goes through. That touchdown brought to you by Cane Island.
Extra point is good by Jordan Henderson.
Score 14-0 Jersey Village over Cinco Ranch here. 8:45 to go. We're going to take a quick break and be right back. You're listening to Texas Live, TexanLive.com. Back here live from Rhodes Stadium. Jersey Village taking a 14-0 lead with 8:45 to go. J.W. Smith and Brent Hallmark on the call. Brent, what do you got for me?
Oh, right now with 4 minutes left in the first quarter, around the 19-6A games going on tonight, the Katy Tigers are on top of the Travis Tigers, 28-0.
That's to be expected from a team that's ranked number 2 in the state, to be honest with you. No surprise there, but Katy taking it, their 2015 campaign, still pitching a shutout, and that kick is away. It will be fielded at the 4-yard line. He's got a seam coming down towards us to the 40, the 45, and brought down at the 49-yard line. That's Greg Williams Jr. Great return there.
When you see that kind of talent coming, because he is a junior,
yes,
that is a talent you just want to exploit, because you know you're going to have that talent back.
Oh,
but now you can focus him, you can train him, and just, like I said earlier, run with it, literally.
Literally, quite literally. So Cinco Ranch with the ball on the 50-yard line. That's where they marked him out. And the ball will be fielded by Morrison, who will be brought down in the backfield. Sacked by about 4 guys. These collective sacks are really racking up here for Cinco Ranch.
Well, what Cinco did on that play was they tried to do the deceptive. Are they handing off? Are they not handing off? It took a little bit more time than it should have, and it gave the time for the Jersey Village defensive line to get in there, and the result was a 4-yard loss and sack.
So Morrison stands in the gun. He will take the snap, looks left, and tosses over to his receiver, who bobbles the ball and drops it. That's going to be Corey Rao.
Just a little underthrown.
And you know he's kicking himself for that one. It's going to be 3rd and 14. Ball in the 46 here. So Cinco Ranch still having trouble getting anything going right now. Morrison drops back to pass. He's under pressure. Pocket collapse. He's got a deep pass to his wide receiver, Rao, and Rao makes the catch, and that's number 14, Brant Huth.
He was brought down by Raquan Harvey in a very hard tackle.
Great catch there. And that's one of their bigger gains of the night. Rao's back in the game here in the slot position up on the far side. Morrison standing in the gun. He will hand the ball. No, he'll keep it up the left side, and he's going to gain about 7 yards before he's brought down on the keeper.
Number 9, Felix Luando, quarterback keeper.
Well, you can tell the intensity of the Cinco Ranch Cougars. They were embarrassed that they couldn't answer that first touchdown immediately, so they're going to make sure that they do all that they can to score now. And now that they're in the red zone, we'll see what happens.
Ball on the 17-yard line, 2nd and 1. Maybe a long one. As Morrison waits for the delivery from the center, he will snap the ball and he'll hand it off to his running back, Johnson. Johnson takes it around the right side, bounces around, and runs it into the end zone. Touchdown, Cinco Ranch. And they have responded to the last touchdown. Pinning an extra point, it's about to be 14-7.
And again, as the last touchdowns earlier, this touchdown is brought to you by Cane Islands, and we appreciate their sponsorship.
So Johnson had to earn that touchdown as he had a host of Falcons at least grabbing at him. Nobody really quite had him wrapped up.
Yeah, he must have broke those 2 tackles to get in there.
And that extra point goes through the uprights, and that makes the score 14-7 Falcons with 7:01 to go here in the half. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. You are listening to TexanLive.com.
Hey, it's Bert.
And Jamie. During our summer clearance event, we need to move our 2015s.
And you can count on a big selection.
A team dedicated to treating you better and low prices.
Like new Sierra Cruise discounted $12,400. That's right, folks. That's over 31%. And we have hundreds to choose from. Or a new Acadia for $299 a month.
Thanks for making us one of the fastest growing dealerships in the nation.
Texan Buick GMC, located Highway 59 in Will Clayton. Or shop 24/7. TexanDrive.com. We treat you better.
Back here live from Rhodes Stadium, J.W. Smith and Brent Hallmark for this matchup between Jersey Village and Cinco Ranch. Cinco Ranch brings it to within 7 with 7 minutes to go. 14-7 the score here. And they're getting set to kick off to the Falcons.
Just what that touchdown did for Cinco Ranch's momentum, you can't even really put it into words. They know that they can score against these guys, and that's what their focus is going to be going forward. While Jersey Village also realizes they're in a football game with a formidable opponent, and they're going to do what they can do to see that their outcome is shining.
Smith set to kick the ball off, and it is away. And it's going to be fielded on the 4-yard line by Joaquin Paul. Paul's going to take it up the right side, get some room to run, but gets brought down at the 27-yard line.
Joaquin Paul on the kickoff return.
And it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Falcons. Last year, the Falcons averaging 28 points a game. But this year, Jersey Village, very young team, or I'm sorry, very experienced team. So you should expect them to increase that average score as most of their starters returned. And that was an opposite story for Cinco Ranch. Most of their offensive starters graduated last year. So you're starting to see that inexperience in Cinco Ranch. As Qualls will take the ball and he'll decide to keep it going around the right side. Nobody open. Might have been a design draw. And that's going to be a gain of 4.5, maybe 5 yards.
Yeah, you're definitely seeing the growing pains in the Cinco Ranch offense. But again, as the old axiom is, by week 10, the team you have in week 10 could always beat the same team you had in week 1.
Oh, definitely. Especially in the case of a young team like this. So Qualls will put his man in motion. That's going to be Bland, who takes the ball all the way down to the far side, but no gain. Actually, he's going to lose yards. Put him in motion. So it's going to be 3rd down and 8.
JW, I wanted to let you know one of the premier games tonight in the greater Houston area. With 11:48 left in the second quarter, the North Shore Mustangs are on top of the Manville Mavericks 10-7.
That Manville team really needing a win tonight as that ball is tossed over the center and caught. And that's going to be Joshua Bland making the catch again. He's been their go-to guy tonight on the ground and through the air.
And again, the poise and the focus that Qualls had on that pass. Very impressive.
Qualls from the gun, he'll roll out to his left, tossing the ball, and it's going to overthrow his receiver. It looked like it was targeted to Austin Lynch, but just let that one sail on him a little bit.
And even though it was an incomplete, that's one of those plays that you know you'll get the timing down later on in the regular season. So with this literally being Jersey Village's first game of the year, it's to be expected.
So Qualls from the gun again. He's going to toss a quick bubble screen over to the right side. It's going to be caught by, looks like Paul, making the catch and getting the first down the sideline. Gain of 13 on the play. So 1st and 10. The ball's going to be placed at the 46-yard line inside of Cinco Ranch territory. Cinco Ranch's defense has to stiffen up here. You can't, or you don't want to give up any more points. It wouldn't be the end of the world, but you just broke that 14-point deficit. So Qualls will take the snap and he'll keep the ball. He's going to take it around the left side. He finds a hole and gains 7 yards before he's brought down. And it's going to be marked down at the 37-yard line. So 8-yard gain. Jersey Village handling from 17-6A. Cinco Ranch 16-6A. Or I'm sorry, 19-6A, as that ball is going to be carried up the middle by Anthony Ajago.
Both the districts you named have powerhouses in those districts. They are not an easy district to be in.
No, not at all.
Or play against your opponents.
And if you look at it, Jersey Village last year missing the playoffs by one position. Essentially, they came in 5th. In any other district, they might have made the playoffs, honestly, except for this one. And that's going to be tossed over to Austin Lynch, who will make the catch, and that's going to be a touchdown. Wide open Austin Lynch on the right side. Qualls with another touchdown pass.
And Lynch did an excellent job. He saw the ball. He knew he had to come back a little forward because it was thrown again behind him, but he was able to beat the coverage and keep the ball in play and go into the goal, across the goal line with it. And it's another 6 points.
So that's Qualls' second touchdown pass of the night. And the extra point will go up and through the uprights. That one is brought to you by Cane Island. 5:37 to go in the half, 21-7 the score. Cinco Ranch trailing the Falcons of Jersey Village. We're going to take a quick break and be right back. You're listening to TexanLive.com.
Come enjoy the heart of Katy, Texas, one of the most delightful cities in the Lone Star State. The best part? It's a short drive from Houston and minutes from the Energy Corridor. With places to stay and places to play, anything you'd like to eat, and an old town charm that can't be beat. Activities and fun for the entire family. Enjoy the best of both worlds in the City of Champions, Katy, Texas. For more information, go to cityofkaty.com.
Back here live from Rhodes Stadium. J.W. Smith and Brent Hallmark on the call. Beautiful evening for football. It's a little humid out there, but we were worried about rain earlier. Not so much now.
No, it looked like what there was in the area passed us over, so it's a great night for football, and it looks like you can see both sides of the field. The fans are enjoying what they're seeing. It's been a really competitive game tonight, and there is a lot more to come.
So 21-7 the score, 5:37 to go here in the half. Cinco Ranch trailing Jersey Village. And Jersey Village getting set to kick off here. And it's away. It's going to be a low line drive kick. It's going to be fielded by Brant Kluth. And he's going to take it up the middle. He's got a seam. Now he's going to break free a little bit before he's brought down at the 34-yard line.
He was hoping to get to that left side of the field going to the south goal, hoping that he could break that tackle. And if he could have, there's a strong probability he could have gotten 6.
He would have been one-on-one with the kicker.
Yes.
And that's usually a battle the kicker doesn't win. So first down.
That's also because your teammates give you a lot of grief if you get tackled by a kicker.
That's true, too. So 1st and 10 Cougars. And the snap is going to be a quick toss over to the left side and caught by Rao over there on the far side. It's going to be a gain of 4 yards. With only one reception last week, he's more than tripled that. That's his 4th catch. So 2nd and 6 for Cinco Ranch. Cinco Ranch only averaging 26.3 points per game last year. But that was enough to make them competitive. They get a 2nd place finish as that one's tossed over to Rao on the left side. And he's forced out of bounds. Looks like he's going to be just short of the sticks. 3rd and 1, 3rd and inches for the Cougars.
Yeah, he definitely was shooting for that marker, but the defender on the play made sure that he went out right before he got it.
So 3rd down and 1. Morrison in the gun. He's got Johnson to his left side, standing next to him. And that's going to be a bad snap over his head. He's going to get a piece of it so it doesn't go too far, but he'll jump on top of it, and that's going to be a loss of 8 yards. And it's going to be 4th and, looks like they're going to mark it a loss of 9, 4th and 10. So now they're going to have to punt.
Yes, that's unfortunate, but that's one of those things that you were talking about earlier is the youth that they have on that Cougar offense. But again, when these plays happen, it's a learning experience. The coaches will address it, and they'll go forward, and it'll make them stronger in the long run.
Well, also you got to realize, even you want to win every game, but district play is when it really matters, and this is, for all intents and purposes, it counts just like a preseason game would in the NFL.
Exactly.
I mean, to be honest with you, but yeah, it's still regular season, and the punt's going to get away, and it's going to be Bland back to receive it, and it's going to bounce off of him, and it's going to be recovered by Cinco Ranch. The ball hits the ground and goes off of his face mask and bounces right back into a Cinco Ranch player's hands. First down, Cinco Ranch. Very lucky break there. Jersey Village making a very costly mistake.
And as you were talking about this being like the equivalent of an NFL preseason game, one of the things that also stands out for Jersey Village is this is their only non-division game, because with that 10 teams, 17 6A division, you have a bye week, you have one non-district, and next week they open up their district play.
Morrison's going to get the ball in their second chance. He's going to roll out under pressure. He's about to get hit, and he rolls it out of bounds, and it looks like he will get back to the line. No, he'll lose a yard, almost back to the line of scrimmage. Nobody open down the field as that secondary for Jersey Village was pressing those receivers, and they have been most of the night. Rouse been able to get open a few times, but thus far really not that much for Cinco Ranch in the way of big plays.
No, the Jersey Village secondary has really been on top of all the Cougar receivers.
So you got 3 near the far side from the gun. He'll drop back to pass, looking, and he's going to step up into the pocket. Got time to throw, and now Rouse going to be wide open towards the end zone, and it's going to be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Cinco Ranch.
Impressive. What a throw, what a catch. The throw was right on target, and the catch was right there. He even made sure, you could see him looking down to make sure he had at least that 1 foot in bounds.
That's their big tight end. Or he's listed as a tight end, but he's really playing receiver mostly. So that'll make the score, as the extra point goes up and through, it's 21-14. Cinco Ranch closes the gap, but they're still down by 7. 4:14 to go, 21-14. Jersey Village over Cinco Ranch. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. You're listening to TexanLive.com. Back here live at Rhodes Stadium, J.W. Smith and Brent Hallmark on the call.
And that touchdown that we just saw was brought to you by Cane Islands. Again, Cane Islands, we really appreciate your sponsorship.
21-14 the score, 4:14 to go. Cinco Ranch trailing, about to kick off to Jersey Village. So after a 28-minute first quarter, which that was the actual time of a 12-minute first quarter, we're now almost at 40 minutes at this one. So it's a complete tale of 2 quarters, to be honest with you.
Well, the reason for that, it looks, is that both offenses and defenses of both teams are not waiting for the second half to make adjustments.
No, they're making all the adjustments they need to make on the sidelines. You know, Cinco Ranch probably will be making some more adjustments in the locker room. Both teams will. But thus far, Cinco Ranch had struggled up until that last drive to really produce any significant drives. And that was off of the muff punt from Jersey Village. So,
and that's one of the things that Coach Clayton is known for Cinco Ranch, is adjustments at halftime.
And the kick is away, and it will be fielded at the 6-yard line, and it's going to be taken to the 20-25 before he's wrapped up and brought down.
Anybody who's been watching Cinco Ranch through the years knows that the team that you see in the first half, if they're struggling in the second half, looks like a completely different team, and you got to credit Coach Clayton and his staff for being able to make adjustments of that magnitude.
So Bland takes the ball down to the 25. Marked him at the 26, actually. 4:08 to go in the half. Falls from the gun. He'll roll out to his right. Now he's got a man over the middle open, but it's going to be dropped. That was going to be targeting Joshua Bland there. And he's hit hard. He's slow to get up, but he seems to be, he gets up under his own power. With an injury timeout called by the referees. So they're not gonna take too much time off. So we're not gonna take a break since he got off the field.
No, both training staffs that were going out to help him were waved off.
And that's a big loss there because he's been one of their big targets tonight. So Qualls from the gun, he will roll out to his right. Looks like the same play as last time, but he's under some pressure, tosses it over the middle, and it was targeted for, it's like number 88? Am I seeing that correctly?
Yes.
Okay, I was just making sure.
Bring up third down, 10.
Qualls was under a lot of pressure from the Cinco D-line.
Charles Brown was the intended receiver. First time we've seen him in the game tonight as Qualls drops back to pass, backfield by himself, over the middle to Lynch. Lynch unable to make the catch as it's thrown a little bit in front and high. And that's going to bring up 4th down and 10. And a 3 and out for the Falcons. Jersey Village unable to gain any yards there. And Cinco Ranch's defense has stiffened up a little bit here late in the first half.
They really have. Now this is going to be an interesting play call because they want to take time off that clock. They don't want to give Cinco the ball back.
Well, it looks like
they're going to punt it.
The punt is away. And it's going to take a bounce back. And it's going to roll almost to the 50-yard line, but 47, 48-yard line. So that's not the kind of bounce you want.
No, and with that running back kicker that does the punting for them, again, I still think that's very interesting because you never see it until now. This is the first time I've ever seen that. And I think it just gives another notch for Jersey Village to make a quick change. Instead of kicking it, they can run it if he sees a seam and he's given the okay by the coaching staff.
That's actually what I was gonna say is that it gives you an opportunity to fake the punt very easily and not worry about whether that guy's an athlete or not. And that is going to be a handoff up the right side, or up the left. He bounces out to the right. That's going to be Johnson. And he gains 5 yards on that play. And that'll bring that ball into Falcons territory. 3:31 to go in the half. Clock continues to run. 21-14. Jersey Village leading.
And both teams have all 3 timeouts, and there's plenty of time on the clock, so there's a lot that can happen in the rest of the half.
Russell Morrison in the gun. He will take the snap, looks left. He's got his man open, but he underthrows him. Targeted Corey Rao there, who's been a very big target for them tonight.
Bring up third down and 5.
So 3rd and 5 from the 47-yard line. 3:12 to go now. So Morrison breaks the huddle. Now he's in the gun. The snap drops back to throw. He will toss it to Rao, and Rao will make the catch over towards the far side. It was hard for me to see it, but the referee down there says he made the catch, and that's going to be either. It's going to be close. It looks like they're going to say 4th and inches. So you're going to see Don Clayton here go for it.
And that's pretty much a standard for Coach Clayton in this situation.
So Morrison will stand in the gun. He'll take the ball himself up the middle and get the first down. And that's going to be a gain of 4 or 5 yards there. So first down for the Cougars.
Good job of that Cougar offensive line just opening that hole to allow Morrison to get that first down.
So first down on the 38-yard line inside Falcons territory. Cougars would like to score before the half. They will get the ball in the second half to start. No, a correction. It will be Jersey Village getting the ball in the second half. And that ball is going to be a keeper around the left side, and he's got a lot of room to run. There's going to be a flag on the play, but he'll take it down to the 15-yard line. That's going to be Russell Morrison running it himself. I take that back. That was backup quarterback Felix Luongo.
And that penalty flag is in the area where you usually see holding, but we'll get the call.
Usually when you see a big spring like that, sure enough, there it is.
15
And that's going to back them up.
And it's those kind of penalties under that situation that your head coach just shakes his head.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, it's definitely a drive killer and momentum killer in every way. Especially if it's a call that's kind of a borderline, but I didn't see where the hold came from, so I'm not going to make that judgment.
No, I think it was called by one of the sideline referees.
So trips on the near side from the gun. And that'll be handed off to Johnson. Johnson's going to take it up the right side. He breaks a tackle, and now he's got a little bit more room down to the 18-yard line before he is brought down. Johnson with a great run there. 20-yard gain. Clock continues to run 2:17. It stopped while they move the chains. And now it's running again.
Luongo did a very good job of hiding exactly what that play was, because that's the second time that one of the defenders gets a hold of him and then realizes he doesn't have the ball.
Now, Luongo did see some action. He saw one attempt last week through the air. Not listed on the 2014 roster. And he'll keep the ball this time, dropping back, rolling out. Now he's got a man in the end zone open, and it's almost picked off by the defensive back number 6, Jalen Miller. And had he seen that a split second or two earlier, he might have been able to reposition himself and make that interception.
That was very close. It almost went right through his hands, but it also looked like that the receiver for Cinco Ranch was getting more into a defensive mode, whether he needed, if it was going to be intercepted, that he needed to tackle him.
So that's going to be a timeout for Jersey Village. So with that, we're going to take a quick timeout. With the score 21-14, 148 to go in the half. You're listening to TexanLive.com. We'll be right back.
Hey, it's Bert.
And Jamie. During our summer clearance event, we need to move our 2015s.
And you can count on a big selection.
A team dedicated to treating you better and low prices.
Like new Sierra Cruise discounted $12,400. That's right, folks. That's over 31%. And we have hundreds to choose from. Or a new Acadia for $299 a month.
Thanks for making us one of the fastest growing dealerships in the nation.
Texan Buick GMC, located Highway 59 in Will Clayton. Or shop 24/7. TexanDrive.com. We treat you better.
Back here live from Road Stadium, J.W. Smith and Brent Hallmark on the call here. 21-14 Jersey Village with 1:48 to go.
And J.W., as this half is about to come to a conclusion, I'd like to thank our sponsor, City of Katy. I'd like to encourage everybody, check out cityofkaty.com for the latest news and events for Katy, Texas. A small town charm with big city convenience.
So right now, Cinco Ranch needing a score. They got some time on the clock. They're inside. They are inside the red zone now. Second and 10 from the 19-yard line. Lugano's still in the game. Luono. And that's going to be a deep pass towards the right side, and it's going to fall into the corner. Miscommunication with Jordan Unuaku. He was looking back, never saw the ball coming right over his head. It was the same play they went to last time. Now it's going to be 3rd and 10.
You can see Coach Clayton sending in the signals for this 3rd down conversion play.
So they'll go from the gun here. Luongo get the snap, drops back, looks right, tosses over the middle, and it's going to be intercepted at the 1, and he's got a lot of room to run. That's going to be Jawan Morgan. He's going to take it down to the 40 and be brought down at the 43-yard line. Cinco Ranch throws an interception at the 1, Jersey Village ball. 1:32 to go, and that's going to be a heartbreaker. It looks like they got an injured player down on the far side. Someone for Cinco Ranch. But that interception, it was a crossing route over the middle of the field. I mean, Luongo did not see his man.
And if there was ever a pass he wishes he had back, it was definitely that one.
Well, that one definitely, because you're sitting there in the red zone and you're threatening to score to tie the game at the end of the half, and then you throw an interception. And that is Felix Luongo, who is injured, making his way back. So if Russell Morrison is hurt and Luongo is out, because Luongo did not start the game, Russell Morrison did. You're going to be down to your number 3 quarterback if you're Cinco Ranch.
Now, there is a possibility that what Coach Clayton is doing is just alternating quarterbacks with different styles. It keeps the defense on their toes, and they don't know what's going on. So it's going to be interesting to see if Morrison comes back in.
That is definitely a possibility, as Jersey Village will take over, and it will be Qualls handing the ball off to Bland, or was it AJ? It was Ajayo. I'm sorry about that. And he gains two yards, so it's going to be 2nd and 8 from the 45-yard line. Qualls from the gun. He'll drop back, rolling right or rolling left, tossing over to his man, and that's going to be a big hit on Brandon Major, who was waiting for the ball.
Wow.
Incomplete pass. No, he made the catch. So
and
Qualls,
he paid the price for it.
Almost wishing he didn't make that catch. So from the pistol, Qualls will roll out to his right. It's going to be an option play, and he's going to toss the ball over to Ajayo. Ajayo will get the first down near the far side, almost to the 40-yard line, breaking it down. Looks like the 41 is what he got down to. And it looks like Russell Morrison is once again throwing on the sidelines for the Cougars. So Deshaun Qualls has come out of the game. It's going to be Alec Wexler now coming in to quarterback the Falcons. So going to see maybe a different style of play here. In the shotgun, he will take the ball, stands and tosses over to Austin Lynch, who will make the catch over the middle before he's brought down, and that's a gain of 13 yards.
Pass is complete from Alec Welchler.
Now it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 28-yard line. 59 seconds to go. Clock continues to run inside the 2-minute drill here. And that pass is going to be tossed over to the right side and caught by Bland, Joshua Bland, for a gain of 6.
And you can tell with the speed that the players are going, and with the no huddle, they definitely want to have some type of score before the end of the half.
Clock continues to run as Wexler hands off to Ajayo. Ajayo will take it around the right side, and he is brought down for a gain of 4 yards, maybe 3. And it's going to be 3rd and 2, and that's going to be a timeout with 28 seconds to go. And it looks like Jersey Village has called that first timeout, or is their second timeout. And with that, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with the conclusion of the half. You're listening to TexanLive.com.
Come enjoy the heart of Katy, Texas, one of the most delightful cities in the Lone Star State. The best part? It's a short drive from Houston and minutes from the Energy Corridor. With places to stay and places to play, anything you'd like to eat, and an old town charm that can't be beat. Activities and fun for the entire family. Enjoy the best of both worlds in the City of Champions, Katy, Texas. For more information, go to cityofkaty.com.
Back here live from Road Stadium, 28 seconds to go. Jersey Village trying to get another score before halftime. They're leading 21-14 over Cinco Ranch. Alec Wexler in the game at quarterback for the Falcons. Wexler awaits the snap.
Very important third down conversion.
And it's going to be a bad snap, but it's going to be caught by Ajeho, who will take the ball towards the first down marker, but it looks like they put him back at the line of scrimmage for no gain. Now it's going to be 4th down and 1, so that was a bad snap, but Ajeho was able to take the deflection into his hands and run the ball up the right side. So Jersey Village taking another timeout. So what is Jersey Village going to do here? You got an opportunity. I mean, you're kind of in field goal range at the 20 or at the 20-yard line.
Well, this would be the first attempt at a field goal this year for their kicker. And it's going to come down to what the coaches feel, if he can make it, or if they want to see if they can get that first down, maybe throw some passes over there toward the sideline to stop the clock, since Jersey Village has no more timeouts for this half. But the main thing that they need to do is just get points on that board, because I think, JW, we're going to see a totally different Jersey Village and a totally different Cinco Ranch in the second half.
I do tend to agree with you on that. It's going to be 4th down, so it looks like they will be going for it. Deshaun Qualls back in the game. He is a threat on the ground as well as through the air, as he has proven tonight. So 4th and 1, 20 seconds to go. Qualls from the gun. He's got a wide receiver up on the far side, his right, running backs to his right and left. Here he goes. He's going to take the ball at the middle himself. He's going to get wrapped up in the backfield. He's still up, but he's going to be hosted down by about 5 Cougars, and that's going to be a turnover on downs.
Very impressive read by the Cougar defensive line. They saw where that was coming from, and they reacted very strongly. There was just nowhere Qualls could go with that run.
They broke right through that offensive line, and Qualls saw a wall of white jerseys, and it was all over after that. He tried to break free, but nothing doing. So now it's going to be Cinco Ranch ball with 17 seconds to go. And you got to wonder if Coach Clayton's just going to kneel it out and take it to halftime, or if they're going to try to throw a couple of deep passes to Corey Rao.
I think this will also answer the quarterback question. It looks like it has. It looks like Morrison is back in the game.
So Morrison standing in the gun, 4 wide receivers. He's going to take the ball himself up the middle. Interesting play call there on the draw. And that's going to take it down to half if they're not going to call timeout. Yes, the coaches are taking their headsets off, so they're done for the half. And that's going to take us down to halftime. 21-14 the score here at Rhodes Stadium. Jersey Village leading Cinco Ranch. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back with some halftime stats and chats. J.W. Smith and Brent Hallmark. We'll be right back. You're listening to TexanLive.com.
Hey, it's Bert.
And Jamie. During our summer clearance event, we need to move our 2015s.
And you can count on a big selection.
A team dedicated to treating you better and low prices.
Like new Sierra Cruise discounted $12,400. That's right, folks. That's over 31%. And we have hundreds to choose from. Or a new Acadia for $299 a month.
Thanks for making us one of the fastest growing dealerships in the nation.
Texan Buick GMC, located Highway 59 in Will Clayton. Or shop 24/7. TexanDrive.com. We treat you better.
Welcome back to Rhodes Stadium, where the score right now at halftime is Jersey Village 21, Cinco Ranch 14. Ladies and gentlemen, for your enjoyment, we are going to have both the Cinco Ranch bands, and starting off with the Jersey Village Falcon Band. And we hope you enjoy it. We'll be back afterwards for stats, comments, and halftime scoring across the greater Houston area.
We are proud to announce tonight's Spirit Girl of the Week is Arlene Burke. And the Star of the Week is Maddie Cox. Performing a kick routine to We Are Who We Are, here are the Gold Dusters. Tonight, the Falcon Band and Color Guard will be presenting the first movement of this 2015 production, Angel Reminder, featuring flute soloist, Tiffany Belighted. Majors with the Falcon band are Lily Arnold, Sarah Nyhart, Catherine Falcon. The Falcon band and Gold Dust Festival would like to thank Ralph Hunt and our campus administration, Mary Running, John Morrison, Tim Dell, and the District Fine Arts staff, and our amazing parent teacher organization for the continued support of our program.
Back here live from Rhodes Stadium, those were the musical stylings of the bands from Cinco Ranch and Jersey Village. J.W. Smith and Brent Hallmark here. About 7 minutes till the start of the second half, but we're going to run through some quick score updates and talk a little bit about the first half and what to expect in the second half. Brent, what you got for me on score updates?
Yeah, right now at halftime, Seven Lakes is leading the Stephen F. Austin Bulldogs 21-14. Katy at halftime is all over Travis, 44-0. With 11:07 in the second quarter, Strake Jesuit is tied with St. Thomas, 7-7. We have Oak Ridge with a commanding lead over Aldine, 42-14 at halftime. Montgomery is leading by a field goal over MacArthur at halftime, 3-0. And right now we're looking at Pearland over Memorial, 15-7 also at halftime. Elkins and Lamar have already started the third quarter with Elkins on top, 13-7. At halftime, LaPorte has a 1-point advantage over Bel Air, 7-6. We have an old score with Reagan 28 and Hempstead nothing. 2 minutes left in the first quarter. And again, one of the feature games right now in the greater Houston area. At halftime, North Shore is leading over Manville 31-21.
Now that's an interesting score too. You would have expected Manville to come out a little bit more aggressively with what happened last week against was it Westfield, right? Correct?
Yes, and
yeah.
What you would also think is that the coaching staff over at Manville is going to use that as a axiom to say, look, we can't go 0-2. This is what we're going to do different. So they're going to put their adjustments in, and they're going to come out. But, North Shore also expects it. That's why this is one of the premier games in the greater Houston area.
And also another score that really stuck out to me is the Katy score. The fact that they have not given up any points yet this year has really stuck out to me. So that's another one.
And that's Katy's trademark. Mm-hmm. Very rarely, in fact, all of last year, they did not go into the triple digits of points offered. So they're following in their own tradition and getting ready to play the Woodlands next week here at Rhodes Stadium.
That's going to be a big game around the area, and I would expect that to be actually probably one of the more entertaining games of the season for both of those districts.
And that's Katy's tradition right now lately is for non-district opponents, they like playing Region 2 teams because it gives them a diversity within the greater Houston area, but with teams that in regular season and postseason, the only time you would see them would be at state.
Yeah, that gives you that, like you said, the diversity. You're not going to see those teams until state, so you're not going to see them in the playoffs unless you go to state. And if you do play them again in state, then you've had some experience against the team you're playing in a championship game with. So, but going back to this game, Cinco Ranch came out pretty aggressively tonight, and they really jumped on top. And Jersey Village, other way around. Jersey Village came out and jumped on top, and Cinco Ranch has been fighting back, and they've had some opportunities, but the score is 21-14 right now. The Cinco Ranch, really 7 of those points came off of a muffed punt that Joshua Bland of Jersey Village had, and it gave it to them on about the 40-yard line, and the Cougars were able to score off of that. But other than that, really, they haven't been able to drive the length of the field, and that's been a problem for them. And
I think that goes back to what you were saying in the first half is the youth that we're seeing out there, the inexperience of the Cougar offensive line. They're going to get that experience fast. It's going to be trial by fire. And it's going to be interesting to see how Coach Clayton and his staff addresses that with the adjustments that they're going to be making. One of the big questions is that they're going to be able to maintain that dual quarterback play that we've been seeing tonight, because that is a big question going into halftime.
Yeah, definitely. And so going to the Jersey Village side of the ball, Deshaun Qualls has really impressed me through the air tonight with his 2 touchdown passes and then the 1 rushing touchdown by Anthony Ajayo. And they really – Qualls has been putting the ball right into the breadbasket of Rakeem Paul and Joshua Bland all night. I would expect them to go back to that in the second half, but you saw a little bit more of Alec Wexler, the backup quarterback, there towards the end of the first half. You wonder if they're going to start mixing it up a little bit, or if they're testing the waters to see, who's really going to be their guy going into the heart of district play in 17-6A, and that's a tough district, so you got to know who you're going with.
Absolutely. Qualls has really impressed me, not only with those passes, but it was with the focus and poise that he had. He was under pressure in almost every situation, but yet he didn't panic. He knew what was around him. He knew where he had to hit, and in some cases, he took that hit. That's one of the reasons I think toward the end of the first half, he voluntarily went over to the sidelines because he was hit hard on that last touchdown pass that he threw, and it might have just shaken him up a little bit, but it was more than obvious. He was able to regroup, came back out, and kept his poise, kept his